Hi guys, Crafty Crystal here. I got to go down to Joann's yesterday and get some of this brunette Alize blanket yarn. It's yarn that has its own built-in loops. And you don't have to use a crochet hook, you can just use your fingers. Anyway, I bought two of these. And you're supposed to make a pillow with two sides. This is one side of the pillow. This is 22 inches in diameter. Now, the skeins only have 180 yards, and that's like, oh, so tiny, but you got to consider two things. One is it is huge yarn. It is thick yarn. Here's regular yarn. So we're talking huge yarn. And we're talking big loops. The loops are about an inch each. Here you. Well, more than an inch actually. You get, if you were to undo two of these loops, you get about 7 inches. And yet from spot to loop to spot for the next loop is a little under 2 inches. So you get better than 3 times the yardage. And it's big. And as you can see, that 180 yards of regular yarn would make something about that big. So it makes a lot of stuff. Anyway, I had some left over on that first piece, so I decided to experiment. And that's what I wanted to share with those of you who are trying this new yarn and experimenting with it. Let's see, here we go. I did a different way of casting on. I used the same way that you cast off, putting one loop inside of the other. And then went back with the end yarn, the feed yarn, and brought a loop through the back of each part of the chain and started my pattern from there. Look what else I did. From here, I did a cast off towards my feed chain. Then I came back through the back of each loop like I did down here, down here at the beginning. And then I put the loops through each other all the way towards my feed yarn again and brought a loop up again, and it made this lovely bar that you could put like between pattern areas or as a feature around the edge before you put a border on. I wanted to share that with you because it's so much fun finding something new and wanting to play with it. I'm going to try this again. This is how I cast on. Just like you do when you cast off. Whoops. That's backwards, Chris. Okay, that's the first stitch. Second stitch. Third stitch. Fourth stitch. Fifth stitch. And 6 stitches. Okay. Now I'm going to take this one, turn the yarn around, I'm going to put a stitch through it. Now I'm going to come through the back. That counts as this first stitch. So that's 1. The next stitch, you can tell the stitches because if you pull this one, you'll see the back one move. See that? That's your next one. These can be a little tricky to find sometimes. First time I kept losing a stitch and wondering where it went. So here I can see the back moving. There you are. This is the back of my next one. next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's my last stitch. There. We've got our cast on here. Cast on beginning. Then we can go on and do our pattern stitch like I did here. Now if you want to make a double row, like in between the part of a border, then going towards your open thread, okay? Going towards it. You take your first one and you loop it, loop the second one through it. And it helps if you mark that first one, because you can lose it. That's number 1. Make sure you got number 1 covered. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, and well, now we have a choice here. We can take this one, if you don't want a big hang in. Take your next feed, bring it through the hood, the heel of it over here. And loop that through here. Okay. Yeah. Remember we kept where our first one is down here. Okay. Now we're going to swing this around. And we're going to pull up one loop in each stitch like we did when we started it, when we cast on. Cast on. See, no hooks, just fingers. And when you first start messing with this, and remember I just bought this yesterday, it takes a little bit to get used to it. Here is 5, and here's my first stitch. 6. Okay, now there we have how you do your double row. And that's what I did here. Okay, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not doing the cross stitch. Mikey shows us how to do that, but I wanted to share this with you. Have fun. Happy hooking. Bye.